Alright, we just heard some breaking news and something that's been rumored. This is not confirmed, but Cory Sandhagen and Umar Nurmagomedov are supposed to fight. And it's an interesting matchup and I want to break it down and talk about the potential of this supposed to be a 5-round main event of a fight. And I'm going to talk about when I think this fight is going to take place. So far, there's no announcement, but I expect an announcement to be soon. Umar Nurmagomedov confirmed that he has a fight signed. Islam Makhachev went on Instagram saying, hey, that this fight with Cory Sandhagen is going to happen next. And I have a lot of thoughts on this. Welcome back, guys, to the channel. If you guys are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share. And if you guys don't know, we're trying to get to 11k subs. We're almost there, like literally just at the brink. So if you guys could just hit the subscribe button just to help support. I know so many of you guys just watch it and don't subscribe, so I'm talking to you. Just hit the subscribe button, use your other accounts, I don't care. Let's just get the subscribe number all the way to 11k. And then honestly, we're trying to get to 20k by the end of the year, so just chip in before this thing gets big. And if you guys missed my last video talking about KSI Joe Forney, that whole situation, showing how KSI and his team are just flat out lying that the elbow thing took place, or if you guys don't even know what I'm talking about, I'm gonna put it at the end of the video as well in the corner, so tune in for that. But anyway, guys, let's just get into this video. Alright, it's a good day when we have a sponsor. The sponsor of today's video is actually a sponsor I'm super excited to work with, is Arett. Arett is a streetwear brand from the UK that has designs inspired by mixed martial arts. They have designs inspired by fighters like Darren Till, Paddy Pimblett, and so much more. The people over there were nice enough to send me a hoodie of my own. As you guys could see, it says kill everybody. Like, seriously, I had no idea what these hoodies were gonna look like, but I was insanely surprised. These hoodies look dope as hell. Look, if you guys want to go check out their designs, which I really suggest you guys do, go hit the link in the description and use code JACK10 to get 10% off of your order. That means you're gonna help me as well as help yourself, because you're gonna get some dope ass merch while also getting a massive discount. But let's just get back into the video. Alright, Cory Sandhagen, Umar Nurmagomedov. Now, Cory Sandhagen is definitely one of the top fighters of the bantamweight division. One of my favorite fighters to watch. We've seen him elevate his skill time and time again. Got submitted by Aljamain and started working with Ryan Hall and got really good jiu-jitsu. We saw in the TJ Dillashaw fight, he got a lot of close submissions. Then after the on fight, he says, hey, I need to go back to the drawing board, and he works on his wrestling. And now we've seen with Song Yadong and Marlon Vera, he's out-wrestled both those guys. This is a guy truly trying to become the best version of himself. Now, Umar Nurmagomedov, obviously you guys know, related to Khabib, trains with those guys, and he is undefeated. Yes, just like Khabib, he's undefeated. Even Islam has a loss. This guy is undefeated in the bantamweight division, has 4 finishes in his last 5 fights, and is coming off of that crazy knockout in the beginning of the year where he knocked out Rayono Barcelos with a check hook. Beautiful knockout, knocked him out cold. Definitely one for his highlight, and now he's demanding ranked opponents. And first, I got to address the elephant in the room, and a lot of Khabib fans and Umar fans might hate me for this. Rayono Barcelos wasn't really even ranked. Like, Umar Nurmagomedov is right now in the top 15, but is at number 11, is wanting to fight Cory Sandhagen, who currently is at number 4 in the division. This is a massive step up for Umar Nurmagomedov because he has fought nobody like this. Cory Sandhagen is truly one of those guys that can fight so many different styles. It is so hard to fight because he switches stances. He does a lot of weird things, and he's definitely one of the more higher level fighters in the bantamweight division, and he's not Rayono Barcelos. Like, this is a big talent jump, and I'm curious to see how Umar Nurmagomedov can face off against him. Like, I'd prefer to see him maybe go up against another guy before we see him against Cory Sandhagen. But they do this with a lot of, the Dagestani people. They did it with Islam, where they kind of just jump them ahead. I think because of the Khabib clout and the fan base that they bring with it, so they just want to kind of put them into the title picture, put them in that top 5, and that's what we're seeing here. And Cory Sandhagen was supposed to fight Merab, but if you guys remember that the UFC originally wanted Merab to fight Umar Nurmagomedov, but Merab is right now injured, not fighting any of them, so it looks like they're just going to put Cory Sandhagen in there instead of Umar. Now, before I get into my thoughts on this matchup, I want to say when I think this matchup is going to be. It's clearly going to be a fight night. Now, with all the fight nights booked up in July as well as June, I think we're going to have to assume that this is going to be in August. My guess is that it's going to be August 5th in Nashville, Tennessee. This is also the same day that Jake Paul is fighting Nate Diaz, which normally I would say, hey, maybe that kind of hurts it. But with this main event being really popular with UFC fans, I could see the UFC wanting to kind of tamper with Nate Diaz and Jake Paul's pay-per-view sales, because Nate Diaz does want to come back to the UFC after that fight, and it's not like they're getting pay-per-view from the fight night, so it doesn't really affect their pay-per-views. I can very much see them doing something like this to try to affect it, and then when Nate Diaz comes back to the UFC, they can say, hey, your pay-per-view only did this much. But let's be real, I don't think the pay-per-view sales are going to be too much affected with this fight night. I think if you're a UFC fan, you're more likely going to check out the Jake Paul Nate Diaz fight because it's Nate Diaz. However, I would be very excited for either main event, but I think that's what's going to happen August 5th, Nashville, Tennessee, and that's an amazing headlining main event. But the fight is interesting, and I want to break it down. Now, what a lot of people would assume is like, hey, this is going to be a striking versus grappler matchup. Umar Nurmagomedov trying to take down Cory Sandhagen. Sandhagen, while Cory Sandhagen is trying to keep it on the feet and strike with him. While I agree with that in some parts, I also think that this is a little bit more trickier of a situation to break down. The more we see these Dagestani fighters that train with Khabib, the more we realize that Khabib really wasn't really good at striking. Like, Khabib's striking was very, very limited. It was decent, but I mean, let's be real, he's not winning a boxing match, he's not winning a kickboxing match. Umar Nurmagomedov, as well as even Islam, they're both decent strikers, and Umar, in my opinion, is the best one. He's a really great kicker. You see, he has crazy question mark kicks from the lead leg. Like, that is incredibly hard to do from your back leg, but your lead leg, that's borderline impossible how he does it. That just goes to show the athleticism of Umar Nurmagomedov. Now, do I think that he could beat Cory Sandhagen in a kickboxing matchup? I don't think so. I think Cory Sandhagen is a very long fighter. He's a little bit more used to the kickboxing, and that's his main thing. Like, that's what he mainly does. Umar Nurmagomedov's main thing is the wrestling, but the kickboxing is just on top of it. And Cory Sandhagen is like that with the wrestling. Yes, he wrestles, but at the end of the day, he's gonna strike. Like, it seems like at this point in Cory Sandhagen's career, he's trying to choose the best method of victory, which is what you should do when going into a fight, of course. So I think that Cory Sandhagen's approach is going to be to defend those takedowns, strike with Umar, try to outstrike him, use his range to his advantage, because Cory Sandhagen is a very, very long guy. Now, some things that worry me for Cory Sandhagen in this matchup, one of which is when you look at the fight with Aljamain Sterling, Aljamain was easily able to submit Cory Sandhagen. Now, that was 3 years ago, right, guys? Like, he has severely improved. We've seen he has now wrestling, jiu-jitsu. He has a lot better of those martial arts. He's gotten a lot better at them, but it's still something that happened, and it's still something we need to talk about. Now, one of the other things that does worry me for Cory in this matchup is that Cory has very long arms, and he has very long legs, and I could see a scenario where Umar takes him down, is easily able to manipulate his arm, get a Kimura, or get some sort of arm bar. Also, I can see Umar easily able to wrap the legs like Khabib does. When he takes down his opponents, he likes to wrap his legs around his opponent's legs so he can't get up, and that's going to be extremely easy when fighting Cory Sandhagen because he has such long legs. It's a 5-round main event. Cory Sandhagen has been 5 rounds. I think the advantage is going to be for him. Umar has never been 5 rounds. It's extremely hard to pace yourself going 5 rounds. We saw Islam struggle with Volkanovski going 5 rounds for the first time. I could see a similar thing happen as well. Even Khabib struggled going 5 rounds with Conor McGregor. Like, you saw him slow down in that 3rd round, and yes, got the finish in the 4th, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Khabib, but Khabib did give up that 3rd round clearly because he was too tired to take him down. And I could see something like this happening. I don't know who I'm going to predict yet, guys, but I'm leaning towards Cory Sandhagen because he has the more experience. It is a big, massive talent jump for Umar Nurmagomedov. I just worry with those long limbs of Cory Sandhagen, but I can't wait for this fight. I really hope this is going to be a main event of the fight night. I think we're going to get an announcement pretty soon. I think it's August 5th. That's my prediction, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I love doing this. I love doing these videos. I love hearing what you guys got to say, so comment in the comment section below. I'm going to answer a lot of you guys' comments today. If I miss any, just know I don't do it purposely. I would love to respond to every single one, but sometimes there's just too many. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you did, and I'll see you guys in the next one. This video is sponsored by Rep. Make sure to check them out in the link in the description and use code JACK10 to get 10% off of the best MMA merchandise, streetwear, and all of that. Go check it out in the link in the description and enjoy the video.